pretty well how to play it, but there's still like a lot of things that I feel like people haven't tried.
Yeah, I guess that's definitely true. And I mean, some of the matches we were watching earlier, we actually saw how the terrorists, I think it was iNation, they were really, really good at defending as the terrorist side. Like, they waited for a long time. They just waited for the CTs to come to them. And then when they didn't, they decided on what to do. But it seemed like they had like the first 20, 30 seconds of each round. They had just set those aside for any aggressive CT pushes. They were just getting tired, I guess, of losing to that. So you're just like waiting for 30 seconds and then they went.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's very, very common for CTs on Mirage to like either drop off the balcony area, running up the stairs, getting control of that B house, or either like rushing up middle, getting the information there. And then basically, iNation wanted to like deny the CTs to get that information, force them to play more defensively, and then like play the game at how do you call it, like in the way they want it to be played.
So that's I mean, potentially a little bit maybe weird to watch, but it seemed to work really, really well. So again, just a sign of the meta game evolving. I guess if counter-terrorists start to play more defensively, then that will open up a little bit of room for the terrorists. But at the same time, there is maybe more on Mirage. I mean, they were trying to do it a little bit here, Epsilon. They were trying to push up aggressively on the CT side. I mean, you see Morty pushing into the lobby and stuff. And it is because, like, even if he doesn't see anyone, you get a lot of information. That's what you pointed out. You get a lot of information. But I feel like that's even more true on Mirage, because if you push up towards B and you don't find anyone in that whole B hallway area, then like, you can basically ride off that whole area.
Yeah, that's like a free round win, basically.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's really crazy. That's also really one of the reasons why I love the map, is because sometimes the person who wins the round is like the person who gets maybe no kills, but they still do it.
Yeah, he went aggressive at the right times. Like, nobody's here, just stack the other bomb sites, and they stack 4 guys there, and they just smash the opponents when they arrive.
Yeah. And, absolutely. If you're wondering what's happening, guys, we're just working on the server to make sure that we have all the proper configs and stuff like that loaded in. If you're just joining us, you're watching the monthly FACEIT Cup here. My name is Anderson. I've got Threat with me, and we just witnessed Epsilon taking the first map and doing really well. It's a best of 3 as well. It is running a little bit late, but again, I want to thank all of you for staying tuned here. I hope you invite your friends and enjoy some Counter-Strike action, and also sign up to the FACEIT site, obviously, to play with some of your friends on there. You can win some cool stuff from Razer. I think if you play a lot, like a crazy amount, you could end up winning like a Fiat 500 as well. I don't know if anybody, nobody's done that yet, but it's really interesting. Like, on a day that happens, someone is going to be happy somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Going to be driving their friends to LAN and stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely. So you said this could end up being basically a match to decide who's maybe going to be the second best team in Sweden. Do you think, is there room for another NIP caliber team in Sweden?
That just seem unfair to the other countries. I don't know. Yeah, not really. I mean, not at the same caliber. It's like they're like probably one of the best teams in CS history. So it just feels kind of extreme. But I mean, we did have that SK Fnatic era, like when both of them were like came first and second all the time. Yeah. So I mean, it's not impossible, but I'm not seeing it. At least not in the like near future. No, because I mean, the reason I ask is that people, and this is like a hobby for many people in the Counter-Strike, like in the Counter-Strike community, and I think we were talking a little bit about it earlier. People tend to do like star lineups in their mind. They say, oh, what if you got, Modi and JW and Delpan and Celos, and like you try and pick, the people you think are like the absolute top fraggers, and you put them all in one team, and like, oh, could they crush NIP? Do you think there's any combination? Like, I mean, I guess you already kind of answered it, but what I'm getting at is that it's not as easy as it seems to put together that star lineup. No, for sure. And like people think that you just want to put the mad fraggers. They look at the HLTV org statistics. Like, yeah, this is the fact. This is how good players are. That is like not at all how it is. Just as we earlier explained, like how a player can win the round with basically not even seeing an opponent at one round. Like I know a player like Fiffleren gets a lot of shit for some people, and I think that's like complete bullshit because they like basically won everything, and you can't do that with one weak link. He has a very specific role in the team, and like if you have played on the high level, you like understand what I mean. Yeah. I mean there is some exceptions, like the Fnatic in the end of 1.6 had like this absolutely insane aim team, and they were just crushing everyone just through pure skill.
Yeah.
And like when I talk with them, many players in that team complained that they didn't even have fun when they played. It's like the chemistry was bad, but they just completely ran everybody over. So I mean, it is doable to win by skill, but it's a lot more to the game than just skill.
Oh, so that's a bit unfortunate. I think we're just trying to figure out some stuff. I think we might have a Counter-Strike Go update in the middle of everything. That's always good fun, and it's not as bad as it used to be. When I started out casting, it was like a weekly thing, and it was like right in the middle of in the evening in Europe, and then Valve did the update, and everyone was like, no, it just broke. So hopefully it won't be too long, guys. Sorry about that, but I mean, it's already running late, so why not make it even later? Just take the day off work tomorrow or stay home from school or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. But I mean, you were talking about the sort of the Mad Aim team, and if you watch some of the podcasts that Khan and Foreign and Lurpers do, which I sometimes tend to refer to them because they're like a pretty good resource for trying to keep up with what's happening in Counter-Strike generally. And they were actually talking about that very situation. They said it's something you could do a lot more in Counter-Strike, and in Counter-Strike Go it seems like it's more difficult to pull it home like that. And I don't know if it's just because some of those aimers aren't doing as well. You were talking about Fnatic and Trace, for instance, or right now just isn't playing at his 1.6 level. I mean, I would consider Trace to be top 5 in the world, maybe in 1.6, and definitely not in Counter-Strike Go.
No, that's true. And it's still the simple thing. It's a different game. The aim is different. Maybe it's fits different players better. And of course, I think younger players get a huge edge because suddenly us oldies doesn't have that we have played since forever.
Yeah.
And I actually think that's kind of refreshing for the scene to get those younger players into the top teams.
Absolutely, I think that's definitely true. And I mean, Epsilon is a pretty good good example of that. So that's really cool. And
I mean, a lot of those players were struggling in the semi-elite teams in Sweden. But there was this bubble, or what you can call it, with top teams in 1.6, and they were in the 3 last years of 1.6, there were just simply no teams who were able to break into that bubble, and it's kind of made the game more boring.
Yeah, I think it's definitely true. We'll have to see how this all progresses in a little bit. I think we're going to a quick break, guys, so go and get something to drink and invite your friends. We'll be back right after these messages.
Now in the kitchen, he's under so much pressure, he's got so much work to do to make up for what his teammates couldn't do, and Delpan is so good that he's the man to do it. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the FACEIT June Cup. And we're watching the grand finals right now. Epsilon playing up against FiveCrowns. And it's going to be interesting here. We're on the second map, and we just had some server issues, so now we are back and ready with it. My name is Anderson. We have Fred with me here as well, and we're live from the FACEIT studio. So I hope you guys are enjoying the action. It is running a little bit late. I mean, all of the finals, I mean, the quarterfinals, the two semifinals ended up in like the third map. So we really overstayed or extended the schedule a lot. And that does happen, but I guess it's just really a sign that we had some great Counter-Strike.
Yeah, for sure. And now we're going to the second map here between the game between Epsilon between. What am I saying?
Yeah, Epsilon and FiveCrowns.
Yeah, Epsilon and FiveCrowns. Sorry, guys. The map is of course Mirage, a map we have seen in I think every single match we casted today.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's going to be a great game. And as I said earlier today, Mirage is the most balanced map in CSL right now. It's I think the stats was like 52% favoring CTs, so it's very even.
Yeah, absolutely critical, and that I think there's also just so much happening on Mirage. I think again, as we were talking about, the interesting thing is that there's so many ways to switch up your game while you're actually playing, and the meta game is constantly evolving as well. So aggressive CT side pushes seems to be a really strong strategy, but at the same time, if terrorist teams start to figure that out, then they're going to adjust accordingly, and then it's going to switch back and forth again. So I think it's more difficult on this map to make a prediction when you're casting exactly about what you're going to see. I do still feel like the B bomb site is easier to defend than the A bomb site, but teams are slowly evolving ways of getting in there.
Yeah, exactly, and the thing about that, when a bomb site is easier to defend, is when you get the bomb down, it's easier to defend it when you get the bomb down. So it's like a high risk, high reward bomb site compared to A.
Yeah.
Because A is actually pretty easy to defend once you get the bomb down. The problem is getting that bomb down, because as everybody knows, the CT ramp, people can just stand there, keep denying the plants, and I don't know how many games I've seen on Mirage where rounds where the time go out because they just can't plant the bomb.
Yeah, that is true, and I mean it's kind of like there's a small sort of analogy to what sometimes happens on Inferno. When you're on the CT side of Inferno, sometimes because the B bomb side is significantly easier to defend than the A bomb side, because you can just maybe have one person pushed up, especially pushed up really far on Banana on Inferno. So you just have one person there, and you put 4 people in A. And that tends to happen a little bit here in the B-bomb side of Mirage. Sometimes you just have one person defending, and then you have pretty much 4 people in A. Maybe one of them is in the middle by B, but still basically just one person defending. That also means that even if it's an easier bomb site, sometimes it's only guarded by one person. And if you take that person down, then it's it's a free reign in there.
Precisely, and the thing about that guy defending B, his job is not to rack up a lot of kills. He just wants to throw his flashes, delay the terrorists, and just buy time for his teammate to get the backup. Yeah,
again, that's I think it's a tough situation sometimes, especially if you're not a very routine player, because if you're standing at a corner and you can hear them rushing in, and you have that feeling if I walk out now and I have my M4 in hand, maybe I could spray down 3 or 4 people right now. And then you have to think, oh no, I'm going to throw a flashbang and fall back. It's a very sort of uncharacteristic. It's a really sort of boring way of playing almost, but sometimes it's just the correct way of playing. And that seems to be, something that people are getting better and better at, making the smart choices. And I guess that's why it's sometimes good to have an actual in-game leader, like Modi has on Epsilon now, to be able to tell the guys, it's not that they don't know it, I think it's just to remind them in that situation, just fall back, delay, something like that they could, call out and make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically the biggest difference between an experienced team and a lesser team. A lesser team usually just goes for the clip frags, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They just want to get some crazy frags. They don't really care about delaying their push, waiting for the backup. They just want to rack up the frags, and and we see teams like Very Games, who handles the more tactical aspect of the game very, very well, and I really enjoy to watch those games compared to mad fragging games.
Yeah. Fred, do you ever play poker? Like, not that we have to try and encourage people to gamble, but do you ever play like poker online or just with friends and stuff?
Very, very